of protocol observed when these remarks were being developed, it was our assumption that His Excellency, Dr. Joy Manuel, President of the Republic of Liberia, will be here, and the Vice President and the Speaker pro tempore from the Houses, representing the Senate. I'm sure I will not be in error if I address them Natasha. Your Excellency, Joy Manuel, President of the Republic of Liberia, Her Excellency, Madame Joy Taylor, Vice President, Honorable Buffett Chambers, Speaker, House of Representatives, Honorable Chair, Protect, Liberian Senate, Chairpersons of the Human Rights Committees of both Houses, our dynamic ECOWAS Ambassador, the EU Ambassador, Ambassador of Sweden and the United States of America, and other ambassadors present, officials of government, fellow commissioners, students, women, youth organizations, religious and academic communities, members of the Fourth Estate, ladies and gentlemen. I bring you heartfelt and fraternal greetings on behalf of the Board of Commissioners and Secretariat of the Independent National Commission on Human Rights. And heartily welcome to you, John Reader, all to this observance of the celebration of the African Human Rights Day. As you may recall, 37 years ago, the African Chapter on Human and People's Rights, otherwise called the Banjul Chapter, and also referred to as the third generation of rights, next to civil political rights, economic, social, cultural rights, in the first and second, was conceived, signed, and ratified by over 50 states, including Liberia. Also, 32 years ago, on October 21st, 1986, the African Chapter on Human and People's Rights came into force, mandating state parties to promote, protect, and respect human and people's rights in Africa. Unfortunately, these solemn legal commitments and covenants made by state parties are either ignored, disregarded by the various state parties, and in most instances with impunity. Consequently, political instabilities and violence are prevalent throughout the African continent, ranging from power struggle, political and territorial control or aggression, tribal clashes, terrorism, and sectarian insurgency. As a result, democratic governance and the rule of law are undermined and remain threatened. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we commemorate this 2018 Africa Human Rights Day under the theme Fighting Corruption and Advancing Human Rights, our collective responsibility, we also formulated a national theme captioned A Corruption-Free Liberia, the Sequenal to Advancing Human Rights, particularly in Liberia and generally in Africa. While preparing to celebrate Africa Human Rights Day, Main Madeleine Reri, Chairperson, Network of Africa National Human Rights Institutions, NARI, remind us that corruption hinders the realization of economic, social, cultural rights in the continent. She also assessed that Africa loses more than $50 billion United States dollars through illicit financial flows, making the states unable to meet the obligations of their citizens. Additionally, a few years ago, and even now, Liberians have been disappointed about our national stewardship, despite of assurances and promises in which we were told that corruption would be public enemy number one. Later, corruption developed into a menace, then into a cancer, and finally into a vampire. Interestingly, also, the current regime pledged not only to fight corruption, but to also end corruption in public service. However, recent developments contradicts that formal official and inaugural pledge. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, for the above stated more reasons, the INDC joins other national human rights institutions, especially the Network African National Human Rights Institution and the African Union and ECOWAS, to not only celebrate, but to also condemn the unchecked and uncontrolled wave of massive corruption on the African continent. We must legally and collectively hold and compel state parties to uphold all of the provisions of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights and make them accountable to the people of Africa. Since our international and national themes challenge us to collectively engage in fighting corruption and advancing human rights, we call for and demand a corruption-free Liberia in West Africa and Africa as a whole. This is the only sure and absolute way to circle now to advancing human and people's rights in the continent. Where there is capability, we demand investigations and prosecution. And where guilty verdict is reached, we also demand deterrence and correctional punishments, including but not limited to full disclosures and full restitution and confiscation where applicable according to our laws. Finally, as we celebrate African Human Rights Day, we commend our forebears who drafted, signed, and ratified the African Charter of Human and People's Rights, not only as a covenant to keep, but also as a tool, an indictment for all those who violate and abuse human rights, human and people's rights. Let the fight against corruption becomes an ethical and moral and legal battle, not mere campaign speeches and mere declarations. I thank you. God bless you.